18 years. That's truly a long time, huh? Funny how I have to make something like this to commemorate. Normally I don't do that. But looking back on it now, I feel it's high time to reflect. And also to repent. I ain't doing this out of pity. I do it to show that even someone like me is flawed. I am MegamanNG. I welcome you to this video celebrating my 18th anniversary on this channel. You could also think of it as a channel update of sorts because here's the honest truth. I don't know what the future holds for it. Wait, I said that already many times, but let me be honest. I truthfully don't know. I may as well tell you all about it. Before I continue, I want to say that if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Or is it like, comment, share, and subscribe? Yeah. Don't forget to click that bell as well. I can't stress enough how much I wish that more of you would be doing this. Seriously, my watch time has been a bigger improvement compared to last month, but about 75% of you haven't subscribed. If you enjoy my content, please consider doing so. Clicking that bell and turning on all notifications will greatly help, as 4.1% or 1.9k of my subs have that on. I want to at least improve it to about 5%. Gotta count for something, right? Okay, let's get started. God, it's been so long. Yeah, the first thing I'm going to talk about is how I started 18 years ago and where I'm at now. I was a different person back then. Truth be told, I didn't have any motivation to even start a YouTube channel. I mean, back in the day, I just uploaded whatever I wanted. That was what I did. And you truthfully won't see it. Because YouTube's copyright system struck it. Twice. If you want to know what it was, I basically uploaded some stuff that I really shouldn't. It was from a TV show from the 1990s that is pretty much now forgotten. With that thrown out the window, I had to rethink my focus. Then I noticed that at the time, not many people were doing YouTube videos on video games. So I figured I'd get to it. This was before videos would be as long as people wanted. Back then, people were only limited to have it be no more than 10 minutes. It was a big deal back then, and most times the video wouldn't be as long. But man, it was a wonderful time. Hell, this was back when YouTube had this term, broadcast yourself. That motto should have been that way since the beginning. Anyway, I did devote a lot of my time towards gaming. I was 21. I had to focus on my college education, but my time was more spent towards games. They were my escape. Sadly, it would be an escape that I don't know would last. The next few years would be a ride unlike any other. Sure, I did a lot of different games, and that was because I didn't have the equipment that most creators have nowadays. Eventually, I did, in the year 2012. By then, let's just say that many creators would be rising in popularity. But by that year, well, I won't sugarcoat it. I was an impulsive dastard. I didn't know better. And yes, I ended up biting the hand that feeds me. As a result, my channel, as well as my reputation, tanked. It tanked hard, to the point that I was basically toxic. Nobody would want to work with me. And I was truthfully alright with it. I'm okay with it because all that did taught me one thing. It taught me that in this world, the only person you could ever depend on is yourself. Been that way ever since. I focused more on myself and was able to make a name for myself for a time. I always did say that life can throw a curveball at you when you least expect it. And it did happen to me. April 2016. For anyone wondering, yeah, Arc System Works basically took a dagger and plunged it into the heart of my channel. All because I did story mode of BlazBlue. Not Chrono Phantasma, it was the updated version. Chrono Phantasma Extend. It was a horrible time, you know? It really was. I had to plead to Arc System Works to reverse the strikes, and they did. Provided I remove all content belonging to them. This is the only time I'm going to say this. And I'm going to be as loud and as vigorous as possible. Here goes. What ASW did to my channel was wrong on so many levels. I ended up paying the price while other channels still had their BlazBlue stuff up. It's no surprise that my BlazBlue content was popular. And I don't regret doing it. I don't regret doing BlazBlue content on YouTube. And if it meant pissing off a company like ASW to the point that they would blacklist me, I would do it again. I would cover BlazBlue again if it meant sticking to ASW, or rather sticking it to them. The company is a shadow of its former self. I rather not want to talk about it since, well, they kind of alienated their fan base after Guilty Gear Strive. BlazBlue already ended after Central Fiction. It's done. I don't know what the future holds for them, but I won't be a part of it. They can kiss my brave bird braviary ass for all I care. I'm blacklisted by them, so it makes no difference what I do. I love their games, but they are seriously a lousy company. Afterwards, things just went downhill. Don't forget that I was in 2 different MCNs. I was in full screen from 2012 to 2014, and afterwards I joined Omnia Media from 2014 until a few months ago. And the reason why I left? Well, I may as well tell you. Due to unexpected policy changes, Omnia decided that their creators would be paid, but they would have to wait longer. About 75 days. Think of it like this. Say you made money in January. Guess when do you get paid? April. In February, May, March, June. And it would repeat every month. No way I was going to wait 2.5 months just to get paid. Thankfully, the people who I worked with were nice enough to release me from my contract and move me to AdSense, where I've remained ever since. I didn't really want to leave, but circumstances left me no choice. Besides, the company hasn't been doing any better, and I speak of Enthusiast Gaming. Jesus. It's not really much of a summary of sorts, but to anyone watching, think of it as something I wanted to reflect on. I suck at these sorts of things. And besides, it never hurts going back and remembering the good, the bad, and the in-between. I miss them. And if given another chance to do better, I would do it. I would do what I can to hopefully not improve not only myself but my content. I can't change the past, but all I can do is see what the future holds. With how things are, I ain't sure. Now we reach part 2, my upcoming projects. Just because this is my 18th anniversary on YouTube doesn't mean that I can at least detail what I have up my sleeves. In fact, I already have 2 ideas in mind. So without further ado, here are my upcoming projects. Before that, however, I still want to thank everyone who checked out one of my first video essays I did for the channel. The problem with Dragon Quest in the West. It was something I never thought I would do, and if given the chance and with better tech, I'd do it again. So anyway, let's get on with it. First up, Final Fantasy vs. Dragon Quest. If you've noticed on this channel, I have done the first 6 Final Fantasy games via the Pixel Remaster. Not to mention I've devoted much of my time towards Dragon Quest, the first 6 entries. So with that, part of me wonders, which is better, Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest? This is what I'm doing, but I'm only doing the first 6 entries of each franchise. Why? Because after that, the 2 franchises would head into 2 different directions. I'll be explaining that in my upcoming essay. But in terms of how I'll rate this, I'm going to rate each game under 3 categories. Story, gameplay, presentation. It's my first time doing it, so I got to at least try new possibilities. And plus, it can serve to reflect what I've done. Seriously, I just really want to do something like this. It's going to take a lot of time, and let me tell you, it's going to be something. Next up, this is something I've always wanted to do for some time. You guys know that back in 2011, Capcom released a sequel to Ace Attorney Investigations that was Japan exclusive. And even their reasoning for it is a bit shady. It wouldn't be until 2015, 4 years later, that dedicated fans would do a complete fan translation of the game. For almost a decade, we would know Gyakuten Kenji 2 as Ace Attorney Investigations, The Prosecutor's Path. It wouldn't be until this year when Capcom announced that Ace Attorney Investigations would be getting a collection of their own. This also includes the second game we never got, but it finally has a name, Prosecutor's Gambit. So this is what my next essay is about, Prosecutor's Path or Prosecutor's Gambit. Can these 2 versions of the same game coexist? I always want to ask this question, since now that we have an official release for the second game. It's something I wonder about. And being that I am currently covering Prosecutor's Gambit, it's a good excuse for me to dissect these two games and maybe theorize. Besides, I have a lot to say about both versions respectively, and I hope you look forward to it as well. Believe me, in my opinion, they both deserve to exist. I have other plans, but that's not going to come for a while. It'll happen on a whim, and they can depend on whether or not I can have the time. Now we reach part 3. If you guys know, then I'm going to tell it anyway. This is short, so let's get it out of the way. As you know, since January of this year, I've been saving up to get a new laptop. Also, part of me now regrets not getting a post-warranty pack when it was available. Trust me, I made a lot of regrets, and this is sadly one of the biggest. Which is why this is the point of no return. I'm saving money to get a new one. This means I'm most likely not going to be spending money on new games. But you're wondering why. That answer's simple. Most of the games we've gotten this year have been a bit meh. Or rather, a bit bleh. The only 2 games I'll be getting are Romancing Saga 2 Remake and Dragon Quest III HD 2D. That's it. I'm hoping that I'll get my new laptop either the end of this year or the start of the next. But you get what I'm saying. Now comes the next and worst part. Currently my 2020 HP Omen works fine, but I worry that the inevitable will happen, and it will. It's not a matter of if it happens, it's when. Sadly, it's going to happen eventually. Thing is, I only use it for like 2 to 4 hours a day, nothing more. I only use it to record, edit, and render videos. I always make sure to back up everything too. And believe me, I've already done so many times and I will do it even now. So here's the deal, and I'm telling you this straight right here, right now. If in the event my laptop bites the dust, my HP Omen, all playthroughs will be on hold until I get the new one. Will this affect my channel in the long run? Yes, it has happened before. And knowing how things will be, it will most likely happen again. When it does, I will shift my focus towards YouTube streaming. It can depend whether it be stuff like Fortnite or games that I have a very strong interest in. I have a backlog, and it's going to be a lot bigger, I assure you. Don't believe me? Just watch. I've got a lot of games that I want to stream and then some. So yeah, I'm going to leave it with this. To everyone who has contributed and helped out, you have my thanks. Truly, it means a lot. If you want it to help, links in the description. Just remember one important thing. This is not mandatory. I don't want to force this down anyone's throats. But if you want to help out, it really means a lot. Truly. Sorry that this is a bit shorter than the other parts, but I want to get it out of the way. And thus we reach the end. 18 years is a long time, and if I had the chance, I'd keep going until my channel dies. Or I do. But sooner or later, I will have to make a decision. Is it worth making content when YouTube continues to favor other forms of entertainment? I don't know. Truth be told, I really don't have the right answer for it. Hell, ever since I had a little confrontation with a certain other YouTube in regards to my thumbnails, I tried. I honestly tried. 2024, I said, was the year it would make or break. Maybe it is, maybe not. I don't really know. But either way, I want to sincerely say thank you to everyone who has watched my channel through these 18 years. Looking back on it all, as well as planning for the future, I honestly don't have a clue what it holds. What I can say is this: I only want what's best. I don't care what anyone else thinks of me. I've been on YouTube since its beginnings. I kind of represent what YouTube was and what should have been. As times change, and we move forward, all we can do is hope for the best. I don't know what will happen in 10 years or 20 years. But I will say this: if 2024 or 2025 is the year I say I'm done, then I have no regrets. None. I tried my best to make a name for myself. Unfortunately, I failed. I truthfully failed. I have no regrets. None whatsoever. As I always say, if you enjoy what I produce on this channel, please hit that like button. It seriously means a lot. You want to be more awesome? Please consider supporting me. There are many ways how. All the info will be in the description. I only hope the future is bright, because that is what matters to me. I'll keep on going, hopefully to the bitter end. This is MegamanNG, signing off. Peace out. Here's to 18 years of being on YouTube, and hopefully 18 more. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.